There are places in the woods where people hear something calling their name. Not shouting, not screaming, just calling, soft, familiar. For the people who followed that voice, well, either they never came back or came back different. Deep in forests around the world, there's a pattern. Hunters, campers, hikers, people who know the woods, all reporting the same thing. A voice. Coming from somewhere it shouldn't. It sounds like someone they trust. A friend, a family member, someone they know is nearby. But when they turn to look, no one's there. And that's when they realize whatever made that sound was never human. The first encounter goes like this. A group of 3 friends went camping deep in the forest. No signal, no nearby trails, just miles of trees. The first night was normal, quiet, calm, but sometime after midnight, one of them would wake up. He heard his name. At first, he thought it was one of his friends. But when he looked over, they were both still asleep. Then he would hear it again, closer this time, right outside the tent, calling him, using his name perfectly. Same voice, same tone, like someone standing just a few feet away, waiting. Didn't speak. He just listened. And after a few seconds, the voice would change. It repeated his name again, but this time it sounded wrong, slightly distorted, like something trying to copy a human voice, and just almost getting it right. The next morning he told his friends, and that's when everything got worse, because one of them said he heard the same thing. Now, this is not an isolated story. There are hundreds of reports. People hearing voices in the woods that repeat the same phrases, mimic people they know, come from impossible directions. Sometimes they even hear themselves. The next story. A solo hiker was making his way through a remote trail, hours from the nearest road, completely alone. Or at least, he thought he was. As the sun started to set, he would hear footsteps behind him. Slow, heavy, keeping pace. Every time he stopped, they would stop too. Then he heard his own voice behind him, repeating something he had said earlier that day, word for word. Exactly the same. He didn't turn around. He didn't run. He just kept walking. Faster and faster until the sound finally stopped. Some people believe this is a known phenomenon, something psychological, the brain reacting to isolation. But that doesn't explain how multiple people hear the same voice at the same time. Others believe something else is happening, something that lives in the forest, something that watches, listens, learns. Because every story shares one detail. The voice never sounds aggressive. It never threatens. It just tries to get you closer. And the people who ignore it, who stayed where they were, who didn't follow the sound, they lived to tell the tale. But the ones who did, the ones who stepped into the trees, following a voice they trusted, most of them were never seen again. So if you ever find yourself alone in the woods, and you hear someone calling your name, make sure you know exactly where your friends are before you answer. Personally, I think that it would be so incredibly eerie if I just started hearing my voice or sentences. I personally heard my name when nobody was there or when nobody was saying it, even if I was surrounded by people, so loudly that it would make me turn and stop what I was doing. Never in the woods though, so I'm honestly kind of grateful for that. It's always been in public places or even at home. I've heard my name very loudly, very clearly. Typically it's in a man's voice, but still eerie all the same, especially if I don't see anything accompanying it. Let me know if this has ever happened to you and what you did. Obviously, there's so many creatures that are said to do this. Skinwalker's a pretty big one. And I've recently started watching Skinwalker Ranch again. And I definitely missed seasons 2 and 3 because I watched season 1, then forgot about it, or I didn't renew on whatever I was watching it on, but then the 4th season just came out there. So I started watching it again, and it's just so interesting. That would be honestly my dream, to just stay months at a time somewhere and just investigate. I think it'd be really amazing just how much you're uncovering into the unknown and being so immersed into the location. If you have any thoughts about what you think is actually going on there, then I want to hear all of that in the comments below. I also want to hear what you would do if this happened to you. In the meantime, make sure to like this video, make sure to subscribe. Till my next video, I love you guys. Bye.